My name is Hannah Fox, and I'm with our customer experience team here at Prosymmetry. Today I'll be walking through 11.0 features. To upgrade to 11.0, reach out to support@prosymmetry.com. There is no cost to upgrade. More detailed release notes are available to download in the Tempus Help Center. If you have any specific questions about this version, reach out also to support@prosymmetry.com. Within this version, we have added a Tempus AI support chatbot. This chatbot delivers instant answers by leveraging the Help Center articles and video tutorials, helping users quickly find the information they need. Additionally, we have also added an AI natural language search. This is available within Resource Management, Net Availability, Resource Request, and Project Management search option, where users can use the natural language search to type an inquiry to filter the resources or projects. For example, show me resources with availability in the next 6 months. Within Tempus, we have added AI capabilities. Now, when you click on this little brain icon, you can open up the Tempus AI chatbot. Here, you can ask how-to questions and the chatbot will assist. So I can say, how do I create a project? And it should give me information how to create a project within Tempus. Also, we have added search capabilities with plain language. You can type anything in here in plain language and it will filter your resources and also on the project side, your projects for what you are looking for. For example, if I go into this net availability area here, I can click on this icon and I can ask them, show me resources that are approaching 100% here soon. And you can see now that it will filter my list to those people that are approaching 100 or over 100% in their percentage allocations. Within the bulk project allocation flat grid, the current period is now highlighted and scrolled to in the grid. Assignment options, clone, shift, and update assignment have also been added within this grid. To be able to shift, the entire project duration must be in the view. Assignment Gantt bars can also be expanded and contracted like they can be in What If as well. We have also made some updates within the bulk project allocation flat grid. So now if I go into the bulk project allocation flat grid, you can see that the current date is highlighted here, as well as it will be scrolled to. Additionally, we have also added assignment options within the bulk project allocation flat grid. So now if I click on assignment options, you'll be able to clone, shift, or update your assignments. To be able to shift, you will need to make sure that the entire project start and end date is within your view. Lastly, within the Gantt chart, we have also added the ability to compress or expand your Gantt chart for your assignments. Some financial updates that we have made include that administrators can now rename financial datasets with aliases. Users can select which datasets they want to see in their view with multi-select capabilities. Columns can be reordered via drag and drop. The row the user is on will be highlighted. Date filter options are now available, as well as if fiscal periods are configured, fiscal year is now available in financials. Within project financials, we've also made some updates. If I go into a project and go into financials, you can see an options here where you can see the total column and include labor costs have been moved, as well as a date filter with a start and end date for you to filter your view. Additionally, you can now pick and choose which datasets you would like to see within your view, and these can now be renamed with aliases by the administrator. Additionally, within this area, you can also drag and drop your different columns into place. Additionally, when you select on a row, it will be highlighted. Lastly, if fiscal periods are configured, fiscal year is now an option. Within What If scenario planning, we now allow users to write back to live data. A new screen is available where the user can choose which changes to push into their live data. Automatically create a snapshot before the write-back occurs to restore from if necessary. This option will automatically be checked by default, and it is recommended. Within this version, we have made an update to Tempus What If that allows the user to write back their changes into their live data. So now if I go into Tempus What If and open my model, any changes that you make to any of your project Gantt bars will be available to right back into your live data. So I can go ahead and compress my data, move out my projects, expand my projects, and I can click on this write back option, and any changes that you have made will show within this area. So from here, I can click on the ones I want to approve, and you can see the changes in the bottom grids as well. And then when you're ready, you can write back this data by clicking on the write back. We do have an option to create a snapshot first, which is highly recommended to use. So if you need to roll back your data, you can. This will be automatically checked as well. From here, if you're ready to make your change, you can click apply. Once this finishes, you can go back into your live data and see the change that has been made. So if I click on my name here and go back to my super grid, I can view my audit log, and you can see that the change has been made to this project. We have added the capability for administrators to share public views with users for resource requests. This applies to the All Resource Requests tile and the Resource Requests tile for resource managers. Strategic Portfolio has also been updated within 11.0. Within admin settings and view management, we have now added an SPM area where administrators can create their own views to share with their users. We have also updated the look and feel of timesheets within this version. The timeline can be shown or hidden with a log of what happened on the timesheet. Project name and task name are now divided into their own columns, and Tempus project ID is a new column within timesheets. Lastly, the current date will be scrolled to and highlighted by default. We have also updated the look and feel of my timesheets. So now if I go into my timesheets, you'll see that this screen looks a little bit different. For instance, we have added the files area over here, as well as comments. Additionally, you can open up the period timeline, which used to be under the comments area, is now over on the right-hand side of the screen. This will show you a full history of what happened on your timesheet. Here, we've also made the today's date highlighted and automatically scrolled to on the timesheet as well. Within the timesheet, we've also changed the project column to be its own, as well as the task name column to be its own. And as you can see, we've added the project ID that is inherently from Tempus into the timesheet. You can still add assignment as usual and to add different assignments to your timesheet. Additionally, we still have options available as configured by your administrators to add different information into the timesheet as well. We've also made an update within timesheet periods. So now if I go to admin settings, timesheet period management, and if I create a new timesheet period, I now have a toggle option for day and month to easily define what type of period I'd like. By default, it's going to be set to day, and you can define, as usual, the days in the period. However, if you would like this to be a month period, you can select how many months in the period and the period count, and it would then automatically offset the amount of number of days in the period based on the number of days in the month. We have added a self-assignment tile where users can see their own assignments. Administrators can configure selection type resource attributes to match values between demand planning and named resources. Users can then claim assignments currently held by demand planning resources that match their resource selection attribute values, and then trigger a pending resource request to their resource manager for approval. Self-assignment is a new feature within Tempus. This is a permission-based tile as well. If I click into it, I can change the start and end date for the view. The top grid shows my assignments, and the bottom grid shows available assignments based on demand planning resources that have the same resource selection values as the user, which this is configured by the administrator. From here, if I want to claim assignments, I can click this claim option here, and I can put the value that I want for myself to claim that assignment and hit submit. Once I submit this, you'll see that it goes into the top grid. And from here, when I hit save, a resource request will be triggered to the resource manager. You can see here, I have a new pending request as well. Within this view, you can also insert columns. You can view time, cost, FTE, percentage FTE, or man days, as well as there's some other options in the lower grid, including milestones and a heat map. Within this version, we have updated project schedule. Additionally, schedule is now supported within the API. Within 11.0, we have updated project schedule. So now if I go into a project and go into the schedule area, you will see that the UI has been updated. Here, I can go ahead and expand all, so you can see the different tasks, and I can go ahead and check out the schedule. To create new tasks, you can either type a task at the bottom here, or you can click this plus button for the task to be created. Additionally, you can right-click on a task to see all these different options, including edit, copy, search for a value, convert to milestone, add different types of tasks, as well as you can delete, outdent, indent, and add different dependencies as well. Within here, you can also link tasks together with these link options above. You can also collapse all as well as needed. From here, you can also undo your change or redo your change as needed. Within here, you can also view your Gantt chart as a full screen. So I can go ahead and extend that out so you can see the full Gantt chart here. So I'm going to go ahead and expand all. So you can see now all these different Gantt bars as well as the different names of the tasks within here. You can also choose zoom to fit so you can see the full timeline as well. We've also added some different options. So if I click on options here, you can view your critical paths. You can also view your progress lines. You can also view different project lines for the start and end date of your project Gantt chart. Okay. Within here, you can also right-click and filter on tasks, zoom, add a date range that you want to filter by, or show the current timeline, which will be this flag here. To hide this, you can go ahead and just click those arrows and it'll hide that away. Additionally, within here, you can add different columns that you would like to see within your schedule. You can also filter and sort as needed within here as well. If I go ahead and right-click on one of my tasks and click on this edit icon here, a modal window will appear with different information that you can edit. This includes the name of the task, the percentage completed, the work, the start and end dates, as well as the duration. You can also add predecessors as you need to, including different types like finish to start, start to start, start to finish, and finish to finish, as well as you can add successors now as well as predecessors. You can also add a lag and make it active or inactive. You can also add your resources with the amount of units they should have for this task. Under advanced, you can add a different scheduling mode here, so the option will be fixed duration, fixed units, or fixed work. And lastly, you can add notes to your different tasks as well. Within here, you can also search for different tasks by typing it in and then clicking enter on your keyboard to highlight where those different tasks are. Within here, we also allow you to add a status for your different tasks, and you can also filter on those statuses as well. Lastly, we also have an export option where you can export to Microsoft Project or Excel. A milestone type import has been added to the Excel import options. Users can now import milestones and their attribute values into the milestone area of a project. Another new feature that we've added is the ability to import milestones. Within admin settings, data sync, Excel, we now have this milestones option here as well. You can download the milestones template to see what type of data you need to be able to import the milestones. Within the file, you'll need to provide the project name, the milestone date, the import behavior, the description, if you want, the color, the shape, and any milestone attributes that you want to import as well with the values. These are not going to create the attributes within attribute management. These will just add the values associated with your milestones. SCIM is available to configure to create users from an identity provider. Users that use a username and password to log into Tempus can now enable multi-factor authentication. SCIM is now supported within Tempus. This means that you'll be able to add users via your IDP. To do so, administrators can go to Admin Settings, General Settings, Miscellaneous, where they'll be able to configure SCIM with an API token that they get on their IDP side, and then they'll be able to configure SCIM within their IDP. Additionally, users that use a username and password to log into Tempus with will be able to use multi-factor authentication. they can go to their profile here, and then they can turn on this MFA option where they'll be prompted to configure the MFA through their app. There are also some additional updates within this version. There is a project list attribute that users can select multiple projects from, which is populated from their project list and project management. Administrators can configure logic with read-only attributes in their attribute forms. Fiscal periods are now available in bulk capacities. Email management, view management, and task management now have global role permissions. Scroll lock is now an option within a single resources capacity screen to scroll the capacity and cross-project allocation grids at the same time. There is a project count heat map available in resource management net availability that administrators can customly define. Users can update the project workflow type when cloning a workflow project. Users can bring in assignment start and end dates in their single project allocation grid via choose columns. Users can reorder tabs within their sheets. Within timesheet periods, a new toggle is available for timesheet periods to be created by the month or day easily. Manage all access rights has now been split into separate permissions and role management for easier use. Some additional updates that we've made have been made within attribute management. If I click in attribute management, now users have the ability to add the project list as an attribute type. This will take from your existing projects and have a multi-selection type field. Within the attribute layout, we have updated the logic that you can apply to your attribute fields. Within here, I can now make my attributes read-only, and then I can apply logic to show them as editable. So if I select high and I want to see my project size, currently it's read-only, but if I go into my preview here, I can say that I want my priority to be high, and you can see now this field is editable from read-only. Some other updates that we have been made within role management. Within this area, we have also added some different roles for view management, task management, and email management. We've also added a permission to access the Tempus writeback option within Tempus What If, and additionally, we have split the manage all access rights into multiple different permissions. Within resource management, we've also made some updates. So now, if I go into a resources capacity screen, there is now a sync scroll option. This will allow the user to scroll these two grids at the same time. Additionally, you'll only be able to select the granularity in the top grid, and it will roll back to the bottom grid. Additionally, within resource management and bulk capacities, we have also added the ability to view the fiscal month, fiscal quarter, and fiscal year. Within the net availability grid, we've also added a heat map option for project count. So now if I click on options, I can overlay a heat map that's configuration or none. This can be configured by administrators within general settings. Within the project management area, we've also made some updates. Now, if you're cloning a workflow type project, you can now change the workflow type. So now when I click clone, there will be an option for workflow type where you can choose which one you would like to have, and then that new workflow will be tied to that new cloned project. If I open up my project as well and go into the allocations grid, we now allow you to insert the start and end date of the assignment. So from here, if I expand all, you can see the assignment start and end dates that you can now see within this grid. Additionally, within Sheets, so now if I go into Sheets here, I can reorder the tabs at the bottom of my sheets. These are going to be for your individual users, and there's no global setting for this order, so each user's sheet order may be different. We have added the capability for administrators to share public views with users for resource requests. This applies to the All Resource Requests tile and the Resource Requests tile for resource managers. Another feature that we have added is within View Management. Now, if I go into Admin Settings and View Management, you will see that there is an option to create resource requests and All Resource Requests public views. So I can go ahead and click on Resource Requests here, And you can see that you have different options available, including the start date, different filter options, group by, as well as choosing different attributes that you would like to see within the view. This also is available for all resource requests, so you can go ahead and create views for this tile as well. So now if I were to go back to my home page and go into my resource request screen, you will now see the public view that is shared with you, and you can click on it to see the different information that your administrator would like you to see. Within version 11.0, we have also made some updates with Tempus Portfolio. Now, administrators can create public views for Strategic Portfolio to share with their users within View Management. Administrators can now add an SPM hierarchy element into their attribute layout and workflow forms for users to assign their new projects to the SPM hierarchy. This allows for quick and easy hierarchy assignment without needing to switch screens. We've also made some updates to the budget area. Administrators can now choose if labor costs from allocation or demand should roll up into the total planned cost for a project's budget area. If fiscal periods have been created, fiscal year is now an option within budget. Within the SPM hierarchy, users can easily change the object type directly from the hierarchy. Planning intervals have also been added to be added into the Gantt chart. Quarter view has also been optimized. Within Pivot Grid, users can report on Tempus Portfolio objects and dimensions. Portfolio objects are also now available within the API. Within Attribute Management, Attribute Layout, and Elements, we now allow you to add an SPM hierarchy into your view. So now, if I bring this into this area here, when a user creates a brand new project, they'll be able to assign their project to the SPM hierarchy without changing screens. So now if I go into my project management screen, create a new project here, and go to attributes, I will now see this SPM hierarchy option where I can now select the portfolio or program or different object where I want this project to live once it's been created. Within the strategic portfolio tile, we've also made some updates. Now when you click the gear icon, you can show your planning intervals, as well as you can change the type of your different objects by clicking on Change SPM Type and then choosing the new type that you would like. From here, you can also see that we have updated the quarter view to make it wider and more easier to use. Additionally, you can open up your projects and go into your budget area, and if you have fiscal periods turned on, fiscal year is now available. Additionally, within admin settings and SPM configuration, we now allow you to choose to roll up labor costs for your projects. Lastly, within report management and Pivot Grid, you can now report on your SPM objects and information. Thank you for watching, and please let us know if you would like to upgrade to this version.